Yep.
So you're saying you got the blueprint. You give them the blueprint, and
Yeah,
they can
because the
follow that
blueprint is
blueprint based
me.
on what.
I done already went through the hardships and the trouble of them trying to figure them out. I figured me out, and now I'm just here to help them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Niggas
Mm-hmm.
think that they really know me. No, my dad worked 12 hours a day, and then he spent the majority of his time rearing a lot of the dudes that was in the neighborhood. I just so happened to be around, walking around and chasing and walking up behind them. So listen, y'all don't know, and because y'all ain't never had a father, y'all don't really know. A lot of y'all ain't had a father. Y'all don't really understand what it takes in order to be a man. Be the man that you would want your kid to become, and also be the man that you would want your daughter to marry. It's very much that simple. That's how you live your life.
That's why
It's that simple.
that's why I
It,
tell
it,
all
I think I have a son. He's 18 and he's out by himself, and I'm having a difficult time when he asks me for shit, and I tell him no. Like he was like, "Dad, I can't pay my car insurance. Give me money." I tell him no. I said,
But
"Go
did you
to work."
buy him a car?
No, I did it. His mom did though, and
Bad.
that
And
and
see that
this
is
is
the reason. That's the other side of it, though. That is the reason why you need two parents in the household, because you don't have control over what she does. And so when people say, like, for example, because I like to interact with the chat because I do it on the Millionaire Morning Show, right? And that's the thing. Being in the household allows for you to control what goes on in the household, right? When I come in, or when my daughter reaches out to me, she like, "Dad, can I do this?" And I'm like, "No, ask your mother." "Oh, but she said no." Well, whatever it is your mother said, I can reaffirm that, right? You can't control what your chick do if she ain't in the house with you, because then she gonna do what she think is best, or she's gonna be influenced by whoever it is that she's around, which ain't you. She ain't under your covering, and so she ain't got your vision, and she not executing accordingly. And so that's how you have to move. And this is why it's important for you to have two parent households. You can't co parent, it's a difference. You can't co parent, because she's going to buy. When I say, okay, you never should buy a kid, your son, a car, right? Because he needs to know what it takes in order to earn it, or else he's not going to appreciate it. And then you say, well, no, I didn't buy him a car. His mama did. You ain't got no control over her because she ain't in your household.
yeah.
that's why I always tell these fellas out here, like, don't never let a woman tell you what a real man is, because if she ain't have a daddy, she don't know. Like, so don't never ever ever. Matter
This
of fact, when a woman says something about a real man, it's usually followed by a slave sentiment after. Oh, he a real man because he go to work 80 hours a week. So it usually got something to do with being a slave immediately after her definition of a real man.
So let me ask you this question, family. So do you think single mothers raise young boys to be men that they wouldn't even date?
Wait, say it again.
Oh, that's
What?
a good question.
Do you think single mothers raise young boys and they become men that they wouldn't even date and that are really no good for a lot of women?
No, so what they
Women raise in most, and you can't say all, right? Because you can never. Nobody is a monolith. I believe that women
Mhm.
raise son husbands.
well
Okay.
They raise the men that they wind up dating, in a general sense, because they are son husbands.
but see, that advice is no good though, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because my mama taught me how to be the man who she couldn't keep. All right, my dad. Okay. So basically what happened was my mama was telling me, hey, you need to be a gentleman, you need to do this, you need to do that. But I
That's
was
what I was trying to
14.
hit on.
She was raising me to have a 34-year-old woman, and I was 14. Like these women, I'm out here trying to open up the door for savages. Like they savages out here. Nigga don't open the door for me.
Yeah, that
Like,
was no
you know what I'm
saying.
saying? Like,
Women, but you got to think that what women say that they want and what women inherently want is two
two
different
different things.
things. So they may be raising him to be a certain way, but it doesn't mean that that's necessarily the thing that she needs. Right? Again, they may be raising a son husband, but that's just because she wants to be. She raising a simp. She raising a guy that she'll choose in order to make sure that she's taken care of for the rest of her life. I coach so many dudes that say, Anton, I'm ready to break out. I'm ready to do this. And then we start going over their finances. Start going over their lifestyle and breaking it down. And I say, hold on, fam. You got a big gap in here. Where's all of this money going? And eventually, because they know I'm going to get on them, right? Eventually, they'll say, I got to make sure that mom is taken care of.
Woo.
I'm telling you, it happens more often than not. Oh, I got to make sure. Oh, mom ain't working? Nah. What's she doing? You know, she go to church. These dudes is 28, 29, 30, 35, 40 years old. Mama is, 40, 41, 42, 43 years old sometimes. And mama is looking to retire because she raised a son to be able to take care of her for the rest of her life. And so he put his whole life on the back burner. He can't have a real relationship. He can't really move out like he wants to. Or if he move out, he got to lower his lifestyle. He can't invest in his business. He can't do none of that stuff because he's spending overwhelming majority of his time feeling obligated to make sure that mama is comfortable. And mama is taking advantage of him every time. I'm telling you, I talk to so many guys like that, bro.
I cut my mama off when I found out we were getting child support. I ain't know nothing about it. Like, we had a whole card come to the thing. I'm like, Mom, like, why I can't get none of the child support money? Like, yeah, I pay the lights and I pay the bills. And I'm thinking, like, don't you supposed to do this anyway? So, like, that just gave me like a real perspective on, like, even my mama playing for keeps. Like, you just can't just say.
Hey, real quick, Anton, why did you say you don't think men should buy their sons cars?
Because they need to earn it. They need to work for it. They're not going to appreciate it. And so what happened was they think that they can treat their daughters and their sons equally. They're not. You're not supposed to treat your daughters and your sons equally. You're supposed to make him earn it. He needs to know what the value of $1 is. He needs to know what it takes to suffer. And he's going to cherish it. He's going to appreciate it. But usually when you buy your kid a car, you also got to pay for the insurance. You also got to give him gas money. You also got to make sure that you maintain it. He usually going to dog it out and crash it because he know that you're going to buy another one. He don't appreciate it. And so he's not getting to learn the lessons earlier in order for him to fail in a controlled environment that would then give him the wherewithal to be what it is that he needs to be as a man, to know what it's going to be like to sort of see. When you buy your kid a car,
is that just general, or is that just like for all cases? Because for my instance, right, my son is a straight A student, honor roll, private school student.
So what?
Extracurricular activities.
That's what you're supposed to do. You don't get credit for something you're supposed to do, nigga. All you got to do is go to school and study. You ain't got nothing better to do.
That's his job. Yeah, that's his job. He don't have time to go out and work at McDonald's to make extra money on the side.
Yes, he do. Yes,
no, he don't. No, he don't.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I don't want him to.
He absolutely does.
I don't want him to. I don't want my son working at McDonald's.
You shouldn't want him to have a car either.
But I do, because he needs to get back and forth to school.
So what? They don't got buses where you live at?
I live in Los Angeles, California. My son is not getting on a bus to go to school.
See,
my son will have a car to go to school.
No. You coddling him, man.
This nigga said he's cuddled.
You coddling him. What you mean he ain't get? You even talking like that, man? My son ain't getting on no bus. What you mean? You need to get it out the mud.
I mean, I kind of agree with him.
No. Hold on.
I think my son's job. My son's job.
What you mean your son ain't getting on no bus?
My son's job is to go to school, get good grades. That's his job. It's not his job to go to school, get good grades.
No,
get out of school, go to McDonald's.
Learn how to be a man. Being a man is all encompassing. Guess what? If anything was to happen to you tomorrow, would he know what it takes in order to really be a man and survive without you?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you know? No. Hold on. How do you know?
Because I put him to the test. That don't mean he got to get. That don't mean he got to get on a bus and go to school every day.
Yes, it does. It means you got to do whatever it takes. That's what being a man is. It's whatever it takes in order to survive and then get to thrive mode and then be able to push yourself beyond whatever normal men do. It is a competition. It is a dog eat dog world. And if you don't listen, the reason why I say let him fail in a controlled environment, meaning that you can't tell him that he's going to be okay. He needs to think that everything is going to go bad, even if you got his back, because it's a controlled environment. The things that you teach him, and the reason why I say is, raise up a child in the way that he should go. He'll never depart from it. Teach him the things that he's supposed to learn early. If you keep coddling him, Listen, there's no amount of I know dudes that was taken care of for their parents, got good grades and all of this type of shit, and they still don't know what it takes to be a man. They get used and abused. If they ever lost their job tomorrow, they wouldn't know how to survive. They wouldn't know how to figure it out. Let that motherfucker fail. Let him go through it. Let him catch the bus. He ain't gonna die. What's the worst that can happen to him if he catch the bus?
Like,
All
what
right,
he's
so
saying is literally like
way-
I'm
the
living
way
it,
LA
right?
is set up is to get from my house to his school, he got to go through 10 different gangs to get from my house to his school.
Think you know the
Anything can happen
bus?
on that bus from my house to his school. I'm not
Let
about
me
to let
ask
that
you a
happen to my
question.
son.
How was you raised? How was you raised?
I was raised in South Central Los Angeles. I
Oh,
had
so
to
you
go
figured that shit out, huh?
because I had no other choice. I had to fight. I had to
Oh,
do all
so the
kind of
thing
shit.
that was good for
But
you.
I didn't bust my ass to get to where I'm at to make my son go through the same
What
shit
he
I went
said
through.
that for. He not
Again,
spoiling his
it's the
son and Tebow.
learned lessons. Listen, y'all so scared to let y'all sons go through something.
Yes, I'm
Y'all
scared to
so
die.
scared.
I
You
slightly
so
disagree.
scary.
Anton, I watch your show and every day you highlight horrible shit that goes on in Chicago and New York and all. I see the shit that goes on in LA every day. I'm not gonna risk my son going out there
He's
letting
speaking
that
in
happen to him
general.
because I want to teach him a lesson to get on the bus to go to school. So if I have to buy him a car to go to school, I'm gonna buy him a car to go to school.
Does he not have
Okay,
to drive through the
listen,
same gangs on with his
I'm not
car?
gonna tell
He could get on
somebody.
the freeway to go to school. The bus
The only reason I'm telling you this is because you asked the question,
right.
right? So I don't tell people how to raise their kids, but when you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it directly. I believe that you coddling your kid.